It's the one place in Las Vegas where the power of the sun brings energy to all we do. Desert animals show us how they handle the heat, and we too have lots of cool ways to enjoy the summer season. And there are many more stories at the Springs Preserve where all that matters is what's elemental. Even when the Springs Preserve was little more than sketches on notepads, its visionary founders were committed to creating a world-class showcase for sustainable living. And since Las Vegas enjoys around 300 sunny days a year, it only made sense that solar power be at the forefront in that effort. In the ensuing years, as concept became reality, it's evident that designers of the Springs Preserve took that idea quite literally.
When visitors come to the preserve, the first thing that they see is the solar panels over our parking lot. It provides electricity to the Springs Preserve and also acts as a sunshade for over 200 parking spots. But I think what most people notice is that a solar array like that can be both functional by producing electricity, but also be an incredible architectural element and look good.
The panels generate electricity, provide shade for vehicles, and add architectural ambiance to the visitor experience. But as it turns out, that's only half the story.
But the solar panels that are on there are a real different type of technology. These actually track the sun, and what's also unique about these is that when you look at the installation, you'll see like a tarpaulin underneath the panels, a white tarpaulin. It happens that these panels are bifacial, so in other words, they actually produce power on both sides of the panel. This one actually produces about 120% of what a typical panel will do.
And there's over 2,000 of those unique panels generating enough energy to power over 60 homes, while offsetting about 1 million pounds of carbon dioxide emissions. And all that power is being put to use right here on site at the preserve.
It also allows us to be a leader in the community in terms of investing in technology that conserves natural resources like water or electricity. So it's been a great showcase piece for us here at the preserve, and everyone sees it when they come in, and it's great.
And in 2013, we had an additional opportunity to demonstrate the power of solar when a student-led team from UNLV created the Desert Soul Solar House. Their design won second place in an international competition sponsored by the U.S. Department of Energy called the Solar Decathlon. Fortunately, the Springs Preserve was chosen to be the permanent site for this tour de force in self-sufficient housing.
UNLV did an excellent job on this place, and they actually placed second to a team from Austria, and it was just a mere 4 points that they ended up not getting first place, and that was really, really slim. It was designed for desert living, and so they use a combination of both passive and active solar to run the house.
Passive solar design begins with the orientation of the home in relation to the path of the sun. In the winter, sunlight is welcomed inside to help heat the home, but in the summer, the rays are blocked by strategically positioned shades. Also, windows are placed up high to allow indirect light in, reducing the need for artificial lighting during the day. Active solar power occurs in two ways. First, photovoltaic panels convert sunlight into electricity. Secondly, water-filled coils collect the sun's radiant heat to warm water that's used throughout the home for hot water in the kitchen and bath. That heated water is also run through small tubes under the flooring, which then warms the house thermally from beneath. All of this is then managed by an automated central control system.
The fact is that solar resources, obviously, in this desert are a good resource to utilize. So it just makes common sense, both economically, socially, and environmentally, to do the renewable energy.
Yeah, many things are theoretical. People read about solar panels, they read about all these other sustainable initiatives and technologies that are out there. At the preserve, they can come and actually see these things in use, whether it be water-related or electricity-related. And I think they walk away maybe with a renewed sense of what's possible, which is part of our mission, and we're happy to do that.
For many people, this searing summer heat in Las Vegas is described as uncomfortable at best, and for others it's considered intolerable, even life-threatening. But for the original desert dwellers, the critters that have evolved here over eons, these temperature extremes are all they've ever known, and they've developed some fascinating ways to thrive in this parched landscape.
To survive our extreme desert temperatures here in the summer, our animals have a variety of adaptations. Some of them are behavioral and some of them are physiological. So behaviorally, some of our animals will dig deeper burrows in the summer to take advantage of those cooler temperatures. They will also change the time of day that they're active. So some animals that are normally active during the day may move to being active at dusk or dawn, or some of them go completely nocturnal so that you're not being exposed to that hot desert sun all day long.
Physiological adaptations greatly benefit the native creatures of this land, so temperatures that might feel unbearable to us will actually be preferable for most of the Mojave natives.
Our lizards are really well adapted to living in this extreme temperatures in our summer. One of the coolest ones is the desert iguana, and they actually will be active outside in temperatures as hot as 110 degrees. So they have a very high tolerance for these extreme temperatures. So chuckwallas are also very heat tolerant lizards, and their ideal body temperature is around 105 degrees. So they can be found outside basking in really warm temperatures. So when they do get too warm, they like to duck into rock crevices or little rock nooks and crannies to cool off and escape the sun. So they also have the ability to change their skin color, so from darker to lighter. So if they're trying to absorb more sun, their skin will be darker. If they're trying to reflect it, it will turn lighter. They also rarely drink water, and they get most of the water they need from the plants that they eat.
Unique in its name, appearance, and behavior, the Gila monster endures the worst the season can throw at it by waiting out the sunny daytime hours, choosing instead to enjoy the nightlife. Except when relief comes in the form of rare monsoonal showers, they eagerly wander out to fill up at the nearest pocket of water, and they can bank that abundance through the toughest of dry spells.
Gila monsters, which are our largest lizard we have here in the Mojave Desert, change their activity patterns when the temperatures start getting warm. So they are generally diurnal, which means they're active during the day. But as the temperatures warm up, they start to shift later and later. So they'll become crepuscular, which means active at dusk or dawn. And then during the really hot summer temperatures, they become completely nocturnal. And they also have the ability to store water in their bladders. And it doesn't rain very often here in the summer, so when we do get rain, they will take advantage of that and actually binge drink and fill up on that water that they are storing in their bladders. So when resources are low, they can live off those stores for long periods of time.
Among the clever adaptations employed by our desert natives is the ability to shed heat through large, highly vascular ears as the desert cottontails do, or use long legs to stand high off the hot sands as many lizards and beetles do. But perhaps the prize for best adaptation goes to the kangaroo rat, which can survive without having to drink water at all.
So they can actually go their entire lives without drinking any water. They get all the water they need from the seeds that they eat. Part of the metabolic process is producing water, and they survive completely on the water that they produce from eating their seeds.
A gentle demeanor and charming appearance make the desert tortoise one of our most popular native animals. They also employ most of these same strategies for withstanding the heat, but their popularity might place them in jeopardy if we decide to pick them up or handle them.
So desert tortoises have the ability to store water in their bladders. And now they get most of the water that they store from the plants that they eat. They also take advantage of our occasional rainfall. They will dig what's called a catchment basin, and when it rains, they'll remember where they've dug that and they'll go back to it and get their fill of drinking water. So one of the things that happens when you pick up a desert tortoise is it will actually evacuate its bladder. So its defense mechanism is to pee all over you. So if you see one crossing the road, you might think you're helping it by picking it up and moving it to the side of the road. But when it urinates all over you, it is losing all its stores, so it has a really high chance of becoming dehydrated.
Humans are relative newcomers to this hot, arid part of the world, having not evolved the natural defenses or instincts for survival. We have instead employed technological strategies for enduring the heat and lack of water. Now, while this has worked relatively well for many years, we need to find ways to be comfortable without depleting precious resources. Perhaps surprisingly, those who have survived here all along just might provide the answers for us as well.
So one of the most important things we can learn from these desert animals is to stay out of the sun in these really extreme summer temperatures. They find shade, they find cooler burrows, and as people, we have the ability to stay inside in the more climate-controlled areas and not expose ourselves to the hot desert sun in the middle of the day. So if you are outside in these hot temperatures, you want to make sure you're staying hydrated. A lot of our animals have adapted to this by having really efficient kidneys or being able to store water in their bladders. And since we aren't, we have to carry our own water with us. So make sure you're drinking more than you think you need to.
One of the most exciting features of the Springs Preserve is the endless variety of earthly wonders that are always being brought in and sought after by our dedicated traders at the Nature Exchange. Now, for our more sophisticated traders, our Nature Badge program will award a whole series of badges to traders who are ready to advance to the next level of collecting and studying objects from the natural world. Stop by our Nature Exchange and complete a new booklet each month to show what you've collected and learned. For more information, see springspreserve.org. If summer is synonymous with fun, then summer fun must be synonymous with the Springs Preserve. We have hundreds of ways to spend a hot summer day, and with many activities inside our comfortable, climate-controlled buildings, we might be the coolest place to spend this hottest season.
The Preserve is a great place for summer family fun because there's something for everyone. If you're interested in history or science or nature, if you're little or if you're an older kid or if you're an adult, there's more here than you could possibly see in one day, so you can just keep coming back all summer long.
The season kicks off for the kids with our enormously popular summer camp program.
We'll be doing science and games and swimming, but each week does also have its own unique theme.
Your kids will be having so much fun, they won't even realize that they're learning at the same time. That's because our education staff knows the best way to learn is first to enjoy the process.
As a member of the education staff, the Springs Preserve makes that part of my job really easy because there's so much that surrounds us. There's beautiful gardens, there's wildlife. We're always offering something for everyone.
One benefit of membership is early access to our extensive trail system. Beginning at 8 a.m. each day, our members can share this coolest part of the day with dozens of native and migratory birds and animals.
People don't realize we have this beautiful wetland out on our trails. It's got high reeds and cottonwood trees, so you can stay in the shade all summer long. There's a babbling brook, there's frequently wildlife. It's a great spot to escape the bustle of the city.
As the day heats up, you can retreat to the coolest collections inside our Origin Museum. Experience a flash flood, get up close and personal with the critters in our living collection, or take a trip back in time through the history of the Las Vegas area from the ancestral Puebloans to Hoover Dam. Then take in the latest in our traveling exhibits. From there, a short stroll or a quick train ride will drop you off over 100 years back in time to Boomtown 1905.
A lot of people don't realize when they go to Boomtown 1905, it's not just a replica of Las Vegas in 1905. The four cottages are the original cottages from way back when. So I always recommend checking those out, strolling through and seeing how the people that founded our city actually lived their lives. Then you can check out the bank, practice your assaying by weighing some gold. You can go to the Lincoln Hotel, sign our guest registry, and then head over to the train station and do a little Morse code.
Just across the way from Boomtown, you can cool off again inside our Waterworks exhibit. Built inside an operational water pumping station, Waterworks gives you a behind-the-scenes look at the journey water takes to get to your tap.
What's special about Waterworks is the opportunity to go from the Colorado River all the way through the tap in your house and realize how we get our most precious resource, water. You can go into the lab and do the water quality testing that it takes to get fresh drinking water. You can travel across the globe and see what other cultures and communities experience in their quest for water. And you can even peer through at a real working water pumping station.
Several more cool indoor attractions await. The Nevada State Museum takes you on a journey back in time and introduces you to thousands of years of local natural and human history. If you're looking to the future, our Sustainability Gallery features innovative ways to build our homes and live our lives in concert with our environment. Learn how to incorporate natural building materials like straw bales or rammed earth into home building, a process that makes staying cool a breeze. Finally, a refreshing beverage from our gift shop or Divine Cafe is the perfect way to wrap up a full day of exploring. With so much to do here at the Springs Preserve, it's the coolest way to spend a hot summer day. The Nevada State Museum is featuring the life of John C. Fremont in a new traveling exhibit, Finding Fremont, Pathfinder of the West. Fremont was instrumental in mapping and documenting the American West during 5 major expeditions in the mid-19th century. See his famous mountain howitzer along with numerous artifacts, photographs, and documents from his journeys. This exhibit will be on display in the Nevada State Museum through April 2019. Here at the Springs Preserve, we cover every corner of the globe to find traveling exhibits that are fun, exciting, and like nothing you've ever seen before. Over the years, we've uncovered the mysteries of wicked plants, sunken treasures, the genius of Da Vinci, and even the frontiers of space. So what's left? Well, how about ninjas, found right here in nature?
It's all about the different defense mechanisms that animals have that are really just amazing and mind-blowing, like their color, their behaviors, the things that kind of make them stealthy and sneaky and kind of sneak up on their prey or help them survive in really unexpected ways. Nature's Ninjas is going to bring a whole new cast of characters for people to meet. So these are animals from all over the world and not just the Mojave Desert. So it's going to be nice new animals for people to come in and meet and learn about.
A unique aspect of the show is that it comes complete with its own expert staff.
The great thing about this exhibit is it comes with animals, but it also comes with zookeepers with the animals. They're here to take care of them, but they're also here to teach people about the animals and how they live and how they survive. So you're going to be able to meet the zookeepers who work with these animals every day.
We're even supplementing the traveling exhibit with a live theater presentation, and each show will feature select animals from the exhibit.
It's called Nature's Ninjas Live in the Big Springs Theater. So it'll be a lot of the animals that people will see in the gallery will be brought into the show, and the zookeepers will teach them all about the special features that make these animals really fun and exciting. We really want to invite people to come in out of the heat during the summertime, enjoy the air conditioning. The show and the exhibit are both indoors. A beautiful, fun thing for people to do as a family in the summer that will help them keep a little bit cool.
Summer is here, bringing with it all the learning and growing advantages of participating in the Preserve's weekly themed summer adventure camps. By enrolling kids aged 6 through 12 in camp, you'll introduce them to many one-of-a-kind experiences led by our expert staff. You can choose from 10 super summer exploration weeks beginning June 4th. Reservations are required and camps fill up fast, so register now at springspreserve.org. We often promote the benefits of membership here at the Springs Preserve. We can't help but share our excitement about year-round access to all our exhibits, a calendar of activities full of member perks, and discounts to the gift shop and Divine Cafe. And in some recent chats with some of our members, we were pleased to find they were every bit as passionate about the Preserve as we are.
It is a community asset. So it is part of making Las Vegas, which used to be just a visitor destination, a community.
It's just a real fun place for no matter who you are, if you're single, family, if you're dating, if you're married, whatever it is, grandparents, it doesn't matter what it is, it's fun for everybody, I think.
It's just an amazing place. If you have a family, this is a place to bring your kids. It's a place to have family time together.
If you're wondering why I have on a Knights jersey, it really is because this is the birthplace of Las Vegas. The Golden Knights are Vegas born. It gets me back to my roots. It helps me to understand, as the city has really paved with a lot of concrete and asphalt, what Las Vegas really is.
I learned about the butterfly habitat, and I wanted to see that, and so I bought a membership. Then I think the next year I decided that I wanted to buy a butterfly in memory of my daughter. So that's a special place for me all the time.
It's something special, near and dear to my heart that I do with my grandkids.
I have way too many memories with the kids growing up, and every year is something different, something fun. And we make more friends, we bring friends and they become members, so we keep coming and getting bigger, a bigger family, I guess. I used to walk with Emmeline and we saw foxes on the trails with mommy and the baby kid. And here I am with my little baby on the stroller, and it's just beautiful.
They've grown up coming here their whole lives pretty much, so it's been a place for them to come and be. That's home.
This is one of the things that when I think about why we moved to Vegas and why we stayed in Vegas, this is one of my top 10 things. You can come to and just be yourself with your family and have a good time and make those memories, because you only get one time, you know, to do those things, and I'm glad that I'm able to do it here at the Springs.
I think it's a fun place to just come and you get to learn while you're also having fun.
I just think it's amazing. My favorite part about it is like the exhibits that they keep on bringing in.
This is a very fun place. You get to see animals in nature and play and run.
A little bit of technology, a little bit of everything.
My favorite place is the treehouse. It's just magical. It's like your home, but outside.
It's a big place. It has parks, a restaurant, a lot of plants, flowers, butterflies, a lot of bugs here, cactuses. It's a nice place.
That's why I come here, because this is where I can show them more about nature, and it's fun.
I think the first thing I remember coming in was probably the gardens. It was just so much green and a place that's so brown.
La naturaleza.
It's nature.
Vivimos en una ciudad muy mucho ruido, entonces nos venimos aquí
we live in a very noisy city, so we just come here to escape from that.
Es vida.
It's life. It's life.
It has a completely different energy than anything we have in the city. Most of the city is geared about entertainment and lights and glitz, and this is the exact polar opposite. It is all about being authentic to our home and loving where we live and teaching with sustainability.
Que sigamos ayudando a lo que es la reserva.
Let's support the preserve, because as I've said it, this is a place of life, and we also teach children to take care of nature, the trees, animals.
We've spent a few hours here, and we do this on a weekly basis, and we're still not tired of coming here. So I think that speaks for itself.
This is a place for us to, as the name it is, preserve it and let future generations that the preserve is an inclusive area, and for all peoples from all backgrounds to come here and just experience what nature really is.
I definitely think Springs is a big part of what makes us feel like we're part of Vegas, you know, that we can become those locals, you know, because we are new. But this place is definitely somewhere that's become part of what we call home.
Enjoy the cooler evenings of summer every third Thursday at the Springs Preserve as we keep the gates open well into the evening. Come stay for after-hours fun and discounted admission in Origin Museum. Divine Cafe will be featuring live music and an ever-changing specially priced food and cocktail menu. The gift shop will also remain open during these nights, so guests may shop for one-of-a-kind products, including educational books, games, recycled and unique gifts, clothing, and Springs Preserve memorabilia. For more information, go to springspreserve.org. Summer is berry season. Our grocery store shelves are stocked full with delicious ripe strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries. Today, Chef Cicely introduces us to a cool treat made with these delicious fruits that's popular across Europe, but has never quite caught on here in the U.S. When you see how simple this dish is to make and the variety of ways it can be used, We think compote will soon become a favorite summertime staple in your home.
Howdy folks, my name is Chef Cicely and thank you for joining me at the Divine Cafe at the Springs Preserve. Today I am going to be using up some of the bountiful harvest of the summer season by making a berry compote. So I've got some butter that I've melted in a pan. It's over a nice medium heat. So once that butter's nice and hot, I'm gonna grab some of those berries that are just in extra abundance right now. Sometimes there's just so many, it's even hard to eat all of them before they start getting too soft. So rather than throw them away, I always freeze them, put them in a blender. I want to do something a little bit different. So I am starting with the saute. I'm going to let these blackberries simmer away until they just start to almost lose a little bit of the vibrance and the firmness in their color. And then once that happens, I'll mash them down with a fork. If I smash them too soon, like look at this guy, he's still got perfect raw ones. If I press him down, he's gonna resist and I'm gonna end up with this thick pulp of the berry. Well, that's not gonna serve me well on top of my pancakes or yogurt or wherever I decide to eat it. But because these blackberries are well ripe, if I just let them soften just a little bit, and I can add a touch of salt to just kind of help that. Maybe even a little bit of liquid, like some vanilla. That's gonna help them steam. And then as they're done, they're gonna turn just a slight different color. Let's find a nice good guy here. And then when they're done, they simply fall apart. And you see I don't have that pulp holding together anymore. So we're just about there. So I'm gonna start mashing up some blackberries. This could be done with strawberries, blueberries, which I am going to add. I just don't wanna add the blueberries too soon, or raspberries, because raspberries don't have a core in them the way that a blackberry does, that real thick inner part. If I add those too soon, they're just gonna cook down to almost juice. I still want some body. We're gonna do a little bit of a rustic style today, so I'm not gonna smash the berries until they're completely pressed down. Indeed, that's actually more what a compote is, instead of say a syrup or a jelly. I want good, delicious chunks of fruit in there. So now that that's about done, I'm gonna add my softer berries in, mix those in. The heat of just being put on the pan alone will break those ones down perfect. And then a little bit of other summer flavors. So I've got some fresh ginger, some cinnamon, just a touch of nutmeg. Grinding it fresh works excellently as well. And then I also am going to put in just a little spoonful of honey for that nice body and thickness. A little smush to my fresh berries, not to smash them so much, but just to break down their shape. All right, I'm gonna let this simmer on very low heat for about 5 minutes, just to let it pull tight and come together, and then I'm ready to eat it. Our best summer sauce is all done, and it is your choice to enjoy it either over some delicious ice cream as a dessert. This could also be served with its light and fresh summer flavors as a breakfast. I've got some Belgian waffles here, cute little ones. Would work the same for pancakes or French toast. And oh, it smells so good. That's it for a fabulous way to use that delicious summer sauce. My name's Chef Cicely, and I hope to see you here at the Divine Cafe at the Springs Preserve.
There's a lot more to discover, so join us next time here at the Springs Preserve, where the energy of our abundant sun, well-adapted native animals, and memorable member experiences mingle to bring new life to Las Vegas.